All right, everyone, here we go with the Friday reading. What are they thinking and feeling? I don't know, after a week like this, Uranus and fucking Gemini reading and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. Let's see where we go. You know what? I'm going to cut the deck. Let's just get an idea here before we get started, because I have no idea. The energies are really scattered. I'm going to tell you right now, they're really scattered. So I'm either going to be really funny or really boring, is what that means. So I don't know. There won't be any in between, I guess. I don't know. I'll try to keep it even keel for you. Three of Wands. I mean, I want to say thinking about coming towards you or something like that. It's not really, it feels more inward. It almost feels like I want to say somebody's waiting for their ship to come in. Somebody's waiting for things to improve before they do something. So they're thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be formulating a plan. Or putting a plan in motion that they've formulated is more likely with the Three of Wands. Okay? Any of that could apply. It's just sort of a theme energy here after a cut. Let's shuffle the deck. Let's do this. All right? It's a general reading. It may or may not resonate with you, but if the title brought you in here, you found Steve's Love Tarot. You're here for a reason. This reading is timeless. I'm not a fucking Time Lord. We split the soulmate cycle into 12 pieces. Okay? Think of a pizza, cut into 12 pieces. All right? About 9 out of the 12 should resonate with you. I'll put the sign names to it, but I'm not your astrologer, or this ain't your fucking horoscope. You're all part of a cycle. You're all part of the pizza. You know, it doesn't really matter. You're all stuck in the same room. If somebody farts, a Pisces smells it just like a Gemini smells it. It doesn't matter. You're all in the same room. You're all part of a cycle. All right? You just react to it differently. That's all. Let's see where we're at. It's a simple way to explain it, but why overcomplicate things? You know, why not just understand it? All right, let's go. Let's see where we're at. Let's do it. What are they thinking and feeling? We don't clarify this reading. Tomorrow, in the weekly reading, we ask what actions they're likely to take. Same reading, but we clarify. So it's a big reading, right? All right, bottom of the deck, overall energy, 5 Wands. Yeah, somebody's in their head too much. I mean, what are they thinking and feeling about you? It's sort of this, they're conflicted. All right, we sometimes see this as a card of conflict. They're conflicted. Somebody's on the edge, though, about to do something. Fives are often, almost always, where change happens, right? Somebody's got like a protest going in their own head about you. Right, there's with their little signs and holding up little signs. Steve's viewer is great, and then there's another side of this going. Steve's viewer sucks. Stay away from Steve's viewer. It's a bit of that, you know. So that's what's going on inside their head. All right, somebody attached to you. Again, it doesn't have to be your runner. You might be here about Ricky or Jimmy or Sally or Katie, but you don't control the energies that come in. Right, you only control how you react to them. So don't make any assumptions. It could be the person that you tuned in for, but it might be somebody else you have a soul connection with that's just stronger in your energy field right now, closer to your orbit. Okay, just keep that in mind always. All right, here we go. Let's see where we go. Keep that in mind for anybody that does a reading for you or a horoscope or anything like that. All right, a story starts with Aries, position 1, ends with Pisces, position 12. About 9 out of the 12 should resonate. Never mind the sign names. They're just there for reference. And my nephew says people like them. So, you know, I would just assume put car names there, to be honest with you. I think it would be more fun for me. All right, here we go. Aries, position 1. Wheel of Fortune. It's sort of like that moment on the Wheel of Fortune game show where the wheel is spinning. All right, that's it. I don't know. What's this? I said this is the closest related to this. And I said this is like a protest with two sides. Steve's viewer is great. Sign holding up. Another side. Steve's viewer sucks. You know, got great sucks. Great sucks. You know, I mean, round and round. Somebody's going round and round about you. Whatever the case, because the Wheel of Fortune is here and it's a 10, it's a major arcana, it will stop. Just like on the game show, you might tune in while it's spinning, but it's going to stop. This is going to stop 180 degrees. In other words, the opposite from where it was before. Okay? That I can predict. So if somebody is on the side or has been on the side of Steve's viewer sucks, they're going to be on the side of Steve's viewer is great. Let's go talk to Steve's viewer while this is here. If somebody's been thinking you're great, Maybe somebody got in their head, maybe they got in their own head, but they might drift to the Steve's viewer sucks side. Okay? Again, and I'm overly dramatic on the sucks thing, but maybe not for some of you. Okay? So keep that in mind. All right? I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass. All right? Both energies are always present. All right? And the laws of physics always apply. Equal and opposite reaction. Right, so here we go. Taurus, position 2. Let me sort these out, otherwise the whole reading will be off here. Hold on. Somebody fucked with my camera again. Somebody going to get yelled at. That's probably the bird. 7 of Cups. This person doesn't know what I don't know who this is. It doesn't feel like your usual energy I get here. Somebody doesn't know. So I'll say somebody. Somebody doesn't know what you think of them. They're confused. It might be somebody that they just can't read you. They can't read your signals. I don't know. They're just confused. Somebody is confused about how you feel about them. They might, I'll make a prediction here. We'll see what plays out tomorrow and what actions they're going to take. They might try a few different things to try to figure out how you feel about them. All right. Generally, when people do that, with me, I find it amusing. I can usually tell what they're doing. They're testing the waters because people are terrible at being subtle. They're awful. Everybody thinks they're a great master con person, manipulator and stuff, and most of them are just horrible at it, right? So you'll spot that, I think. All right. It can be kind of amusing if you let it play out. I don't know who that is. It doesn't feel like your regular energy that I get for the Taurus position. Okay, Gemini, position 3. The Empress. This person has. This is the usual energy I get, where the person's repressed, kind of a thing, or held back, or almost like captive in a culture or in their life or whatever, and you're the freedom for them. This person has This doesn't have much to do with you. This person has just realized that they're attractive, that other people seem to like them. It's kind of going to their head a little bit. It kind of feels like it. It's a little bit of somebody realizes that they're attractive. This is good for you because it means that this person's self-worth is coming up. And when your self-worth is up, you don't let anybody hold you captive or be an authoritarian over you or anything like that. When your self-worth is up, you tend to err on the side of freedom. Okay? And you represent freedom for this person. Definitely a better life. Certainly a less repressed life anyway. Cancer, the hot spot of the connection cycle, position 4. Always something here for everybody. Cancer's always a all signs position here at SLT. It bookends the Wheel of Fortune, unfortunately. King of Pentacles. This person is also realizing their self-worth. They're realizing that no, I'm going to back off on that because both energies are present. I think this person's realizing the value of your connection, but not in a lovey-dovey sense. I think they're realizing the value of you. Everybody's got somebody attached to them that's realizing the value of your connection, but in a way that's more comfortable for them to understand it, which is in relation to Pentacles, in a practical way. Okay? So something about you makes sense in a practical way. And that, in turn, it feels very positive for you overall. It does. Again, both energies are present. This person could just as easily flip. This could be somebody who already thought you might be good fit, now realizing you're not, for whatever reason, whether it's made up in their mind. Again, we got a lot of nonsense happening here with 5 wands in their head, right? Or it could be an outside source, which can always confuse things and always creates a 5 wands or a 9 swords type energy, right? Sometimes an 8 swords as well. But anyway, I'm glad this is just 5 wands because this is easily overcome. It's the weakest energy as it reflects back to me. All right. Leo, position 5, the Leo soap opera. We just pulled one of those. That was fun. I decided to do it. I had to. 3 of Cups. Oh, I never like it. I just talked about the 8 of Swords, didn't I? Remember that. I don't know why. This person's overly emotional right now. They're overly emotional, and whenever they get overly emotional, 8 swords is soon to follow. That prison of the mind, if you will. They start thinking about feelings. They start thinking about the emotions, and it just creates a big mess. This person's overly emotional right now, but I think they're talking about it, but I think they're talking about it internally. All right? I don't know what that means yet, but towards you, they're overly emotional, which, again, with this person, tends to lead to some sort of 8 of swords. Okay. So where they're just trapped. I don't know what to do. Again, we do have this as our overall energy, and this is similar. Okay, it's lighter but similar. Virgo, position 6. Sometimes my wild card spot. Sometimes you guys show up here. You got to show up somewhere. So far, it's been the incoming energies. 9 swords. I was close, wasn't I? Wasn't I close? I said this always leads to like an 8 swords. I said, remember I said that. I was close. You got to give me props for that. I felt that. This does tie to this. This will go to something like this, okay? And I even mentioned over here, 5 wands, 8 swords, 9 swords kinds of energies. This is not you guys. This is somebody attached. Doesn't matter what your sign is. Don't worry about Virgo. It's just slice number 6. We're halfway through the pizza, okay? All of you have somebody attached to you that's about to fall into the 9 swords category. This is good. I would be more upset if this were 8 swords. They're about to fall into the 9 swords, which is 9s of the end in tarot. Usually worried about nonsense. So they got nonsense rattling around in their head, which is going to lead to worry about nonsense, which should lead to some kind of action after that. Okay? Because this leads to 10 swords, which is the end and dead end. It leads to a new beginning of some kind, either coming towards you or not. It could go either way, as I pointed out with the Wheel of Fortune way back here. All right, here we go. It's just like on the TV game show. It can land on the $5,000 spot, or it can land on bankrupt. Depends. What kind of energy you got around you today, right? Or, maybe they got a break that they push. Who knows? But anyway, we'll find out about it someday, right? Who knows? Libra, position 7. What do we get here? Knight of Pentacles. There's just somebody. Somebody's just stuck on you. You're just like a skipping record. And that's why I had trouble with it. That's why I have trouble getting the words out right now. I have to swim in these energies. It's a skipping record. It's just over and over again. Some thought about you. I don't know what it is, right? I can't. There's too many people watching, and it's for too many people. Whatever it is, you've got somebody attached to you. Something happened between you two. I'm sorry to be vague, but what do you want, right? Something happened between you two, and they're stuck on one point of it, is my point. They're stuck on one little aspect of it rather than the big picture. That's never good, right? It's one of the problems I have personally with people and Uranus moving into Gemini. It's a very short-sighted energy that people tend to get fixated on one little, let's do that, without realizing, but if we do that will happen, right? Somebody here, there's a big issue you have with them, and they're focused on one little thing, and if you knew what that was, if they confronted you with that, you'd be like, that's what you're focused on? I mean, you literally say that to them, that's what you're focused on? Really? You're ignoring all this other stuff? You're not, somebody's got the small picture, all right? I predict probably a conversation coming with this person, but one that might annoy the living snot out of you. All right, because that's really annoying. That's what you're focused on. It's not even the fucking point, motherfucker. Right? It's kind of like that. Scorpio, position 8. It's a byproduct, and it will be for the next 8 years or so. It'll be a byproduct of Uranus and Gemini. A lot of short-sightedness. A lot of it. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. You can protect yourself in this energy by making sure you're taking the long view. Make damn sure. Am I being short-sighted here? Just ask yourself that about things you're doing, decisions you're making. And then that forces the energy to get out of your way so you can take a bigger look. All right? That's all. Say it out loud if you have to. Say it with some feeling. All right? Scorpio, position 8. My hot Scorpios. Again, don't have to be a Scorpio, but it is a hot energy here. It's a hot, hot energy. It always is. The Queen of Pentacles. Okay, I'm going to phrase it this way. You recently schooled somebody on something. Could be future influence. I'm not a Time Lord. Or you will school somebody on something. And they don't like, you hurt their ego by doing it. All right, they don't like that you schooled them on it. It's fine. It's whatever. It's no big deal. You know. Okay. That's wonderful. I've been great, terrific. I mean, but that's what it is. I've got the little fawn here who doesn't like that you were right about something. I could phrase it, you were right about something, or will be right about something. If you want to save some trouble here, I don't know. Somebody's got a notion here. Somebody's thinking about something in regard to you that they're wrong about. You're going to correct them on it, and they're not going to like that you corrected them on it. Okay? This is probably, even though they're reflecting as a little page here with the little fawn, this is probably somebody higher up than you. It could be a boss, or it could be a matriarch or a patriarch in your family or something like that, or a circle of friends. Okay? I don't know. That'll be interesting to see what happens with that tomorrow, with actions. Sagittarius. Oh, everybody out of the way. Here we go. Sometimes separate from the cycle, sometimes part of it. Always a big pain in my ass, and always for more people than assume it's for them. I mean, as soon as I say Sagittarius or Sagittarius, well, that's not for me. You know. Okay. Well, not necessarily. All right, careful about that. Ace of Cups. It's one of the corners. The corners are all very important. The corners are for the most people. I say 9 out of the 12 will resonate with you in this reading and tomorrow's reading. Those corners are probably 4 of them, okay, or at least 3 of them for you. All right, keep that in mind. They're the best slices of the pizza. If you were to slice a pizza of the 12 pieces, somebody would get a little tiny dinky one, but a couple of people would get some pretty good sized slices, right? Because nobody's ever perfect at it. These are the corners. These are the slices you want. New love. Somebody's just, oh my God, how do I want to phrase this? This is like my 3 card I did the other day. It is like the 3 card I did, when the hell did I do that? Was it Monday? Did I do it on Monday with the energy weather update? A 3 card where I talked about somebody has a crush on you kind of a thing. Somebody's developing feelings for you. Somebody around, it's not the same energy, but somebody around you is developing feelings for you. Okay? If you don't, you'll notice it, I think. I think you'll start to notice it. I'm starting to notice some of the yellow up here. Okay? I think this is already in progress. They're thinking about you a lot. They might be thinking about telling you. I don't know. If you're not interested, take the advice I gave you in that 3 card. All right, be careful with crushes. Anything you do when somebody feels this way about you, anything, a little brush on the shoulder, a pat on the back, good job today. They amplify 100-fold, 1,000-fold. It's always a bigger deal than you thought it was. Keep that in mind. So if you're not interested, don't just go along to get along. Don't say yes just because you want to be nice. Make sure you say fucking no if it's a no. All right? That's all I'm saying. Somebody developing feelings here for you. They're thinking about you a lot in the lovey-dovey sense. Those feelings are starting to leak out. You'll start to notice. Capricorn, position 10. 8 of Swords. And that will tie at least a little bit to that 3 card I did earlier in the week. There's my 8 swords. And look at where the 8 swords fell. Right? I had no way of knowing that's going to happen. Look at where the 8 swords fell on top of the 9 swords, which I predicted 8 swords off of that, but I got 9 swords, which was nice. It was a softer blow. But still, the energies are connected. I got energy match here from the backgrounds. I've got definitely connected energies here. Keep that in mind. All right? It always goes bad. I can always smell an 8 of swords whenever the Leo soap opera person gets in their emotions. They always the somehow fuck it up in some way. The This would imply, just to back up for the Leo soap opera person, that there might be a backwards motion. In other words, it goes to the 9 swords, which is good for you and it's no big deal. But it could, due to outside influences, go to 8 swords if people start getting in their ear, right? You know, that kind of a thing. Just saying, I was right. I felt that. I just have to tell you, be careful about that. Pay attention to the Leo soap opera, but also pay attention to your upcoming monthly poll, okay? If you're part of the Leo soap opera. 8 swords on Capricorn, position 10. Yeah, somebody's all up in their shit about you, all up in their own shit. They're around and round. It feels like it's rage. It feels like, well, I don't, maybe not rage, but you know what I'm saying. They're all upset about something you're doing, something you're saying, something you're planning. I think it's all it's about nothing. I think you're fine. I don't think you're doing anything wrong. I think somebody's misinterpreted something about you, probably, with 8 swords here. 8 swords can easily run into nonsense, especially when my overall energy is nonsense and it's sitting on top of nonsense, a false sword of Damocles. See what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Somebody around you is getting all steamy and hot and bothered, you know, because you're doing something, or they overheard, or they heard something you might be doing. I don't know. It's all a bunch of nonsense. It'll probably end up falling on your head in some way. We'll see tomorrow what actions they're going to take. We'll see. Aquarius, position 11. Sometimes my wild card spot. You didn't show up here. You probably show up here. Let's see. 6 of Swords. Yeah. I said this in a recent extended. This is you guys showing up here, so this is for a good number of you. See the rainbow, see the 6 of Swords. Sometimes in some decks it's a guy in a canoe just taking a slow ride, right? I said this in a recent extended to you. I don't remember which one it was. May have been the Venus one. Take it easy. Your approach is to be superficial, nonchalant. Just take it easy, right? Your attitude flowing through all the energies of right now, on the DF side in particular, which is most of my viewers, should be, we may win, we may lose, but we will never be here again. So let's just chill and take it easy, right? Just that's where you're at. Everybody else, you seem to have chaos around you. You've got a spinning wheel. You've got people in their head. You got 9 swords de-escalating or going backwards to 8 swords and then back to 9. And I mean, it's just, you got somebody here holding on to feelings which are starting to spill out over here. I mean, it's just, or over here even, you've got somebody testing the waters to see because they can't quite read you. I mean, it's just, people are acting weird. Okay, this is just weird. And here you are, just taking a canoe ride, chill through it, all right? Try to find the humor in a lot of what's going to be going on around you, and you'll survive just fine. If you start getting upset, or you start calling people out on stuff, or whatever, you know what? Then you're just going to fall into this trap, right? The herringbone trap, right? The herringbone background trap right here. 5 wands, 8 swords, 9 swords. So be careful. All right, Pisces, position 12. So this jives nicely with some extended I did recently. That's very nice. I like that. With the exception being, as I said in that extended, the Leo soap opera, if that's a separate connection, these are separate. You might have other connections that are like this. In the Leo soap opera, you need to be that guru. You need to be what I talked about in that reading. All right? So, but you can still be a cool, relaxed guru. You don't have to be some hyper, out of control one. All right? All right, Pisces, position 12. Always red with 1 and 5. Not sure why 5. Never figured it out fully. Don't care. But this is the end of the story. So, and it's a corner. So it's for a good number of people. All right? Page of Wands. It's kind of cute. Somebody's thinking about calling you, but they're not. But they are. But they're not. But they are. The wheel's spinning. Right? They are. I'm going to call Steve's viewer. I'm not going to call Steve's viewer. I'm going to call Steve's viewer. I'm not going to call Steve's viewer. Right? It's very immature energy. I don't know who it is. I have no idea. It feels a little petty. Somebody's thinking about calling you and invite. It's sort of like this. I'll give it to you like this scenario. They're thinking about calling to invite you to a party, but because they know everybody else would want you there, but they don't want you there because of something that happened, so they're probably not going to call you. But then people keep talking about you, so they're going to call you. But this person, they're just being petty. All right, you probably need to have a chat with this person. You probably will have an emotional chat with this person sometime in the future, but there's some sort of immature pettiness, passive-aggressive nonsense with this would call you or don't call you. And it could be text, it could be show up at you. I'm just using call as just a way to phrase it. All right? Okay. So, whatever. Somebody's always being petty like that, You see that a lot at work, too, if you're someone who's on call for work or something like that. And the person who does the calls has something against you, they'll move your name off to the side or something, or won't call you for various projects or something like that, right? It's that kind of pettiness, All right. The intention in the energy is to call you, but the action in the 3D is petty and moving your name to the side. It's the easiest way I can describe it. All right, let's add it all up. 12 cards. 12 slices of pizza. Sounds tasty. All right, let's go. 3 cards in a bottom card. Add it all up. What are they thinking and feeling? Let's see where we go. Tomorrow, same reading, same type of thing, but we clarify, we ask what actions they're going to take. This gives us context. I'm not happy with the context. I wasn't happy with it when we had that to start with, but it is what it is. Ace of Wands at the bottom. 10 of Wands, yeah. 7 of Swords. See, I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy. What's the read with 10 Wands? The 4 of Cups. It gets even better. And underneath the Ace of Wands is 4 Swords. I started to say it earlier somewhere, much to do about nothing kind of a thing. It's a bit of that, a little bit. There's a lot of, within the minds of your, let's get Dark Side of the Moon here, right? We should have Dark Side of the Moon playing in the background. Within the minds of your people, of somebody attached to you, there's a whole lot of fits and stops. Starts and stops, fits and stops, however you want to phrase it. It feels more like fits and stops, like it's really, and then nothing happens, hence the Ace of Wands, and then nothing happens, hence the void energy, the 4 of Swords. I think in their, as bad as this might sound, because it ties to the Wheel of Fortune spinning, I think in their minds, right, somebody definitely knows they want to come towards you, but they're full of shit. In their minds, they feel like it's too much of a pain right now. They tell themselves they're waiting for a better time. He's telling himself, I'm waiting for a better time to bang Blondie. Really? You're alone by a stream, it's not raining, and she's not wearing much. Sounds like a good time to me. There's nobody around. It's perfect. One of the few places where there aren't cameras these days. Go for it. But, again, it's hard. It's getting harder and harder for these people to make excuses. That's the good part. All right? They're running out of lies. But this energy right now, I'm going to call it this week because it is kind of, that's sort of the vibe I'm getting. This energy right now is a little bit of excuse machine energy, a little bit of somebody comes towards you, but then they decide not to, they want to wait for a better moment kind of a thing. It just feels like that. The wheel is spinning. Can I just put it that way? I may even title this reading, The Wheel is Spinning. Where she stops, nobody knows. That's kind of what's going on here. What are they thinking and feeling about you? This person obviously is into you. They lie to themselves a lot, whoever it is, If it's a family member that you're estranged from, can I just add this for a couple of people that this might apply to? Because everybody matters, right? If it's a family member you're estranged from, this is the kind of energy where they're playing that game where they're not calling you and they're going to wait for you to call them. Okay? The problem is, the way I feel it from your side, I feel like they're going to be waiting a very fucking long time and will eventually crack and call you because their little plan isn't going to work. But this is that petty, again, sort of a petty, we ended with a petty energy. I can feel that here. If this is a friend or family member that you're estranged from and it's who's going to break first kind of a thing. They're playing a game where they're telling themselves, no, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to let Steve's viewer make the move, right? They'll crack eventually. So don't make the move. Do what you want to do, make your own decisions, but I wouldn't play their game, all right? That's your reading. I hope it was helpful. Tomorrow we find out what actions they're going to take based on this context, all right? We'll see. Good luck.